Hey guys, so I didn't actually get to record an opening for the Parkville Fall Fest because it was so crazy hectic. So I'm gonna go into it as we get into the video, but that's why I'm filming the intro now. And I'm outside on my patio because it's a gorgeous night. I thought it would also be kind of nice for you guys to see something other than my basement. But if I start to show like my chin or whatever, it's just because like the placement of my phone, I'm not using my camera, I'm using my phone. It's a little bit weird, but you're not gonna see all of this the whole video. Also, I'm recovering from a cold. My voice might be a little bit like mucusy. So I really wanted to show you guys like the actual day, like people coming in and out, I'm talking to people, all this and that. But the audio was so bad. Like when I loaded everything into my computer to edit it, I wanted to cry because all my footage was basically ruined because the audio was terrible. I don't know why the audio was terrible. I'm guessing the mic wasn't close enough to my face or something, but I tested it at home and it was fine. So basically this video is going to be me talking about the Parkville Fall Festival that I went to, and I'm just going to like overlay my voice on top of the footage that I did take with that sound basically muted, so that way you guys can see a little bit of it. But yeah, so I'm going to cut to a clip of me talking to a few people and then we'll be right back. Hello. Hi. Thank you.
Is this considered a medium?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna get it.
Thank you. Cash or card?
I'll do card.
Okay. It will be $4. Would you like a receipt?
That's okay, no. And I'll just put this in here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Nice to meet you. Oh,
Okay, I'm going to come up with
Yes.
a video and you start waving. Ready? Okay, start waving now. They're so cute.
Okay.
Do we need to hand wash these? Or like how do we do service? Pickers don't come.
I have a cup care card here. It is hand wash only, but I have tested it to where if you hand wash it, they will not come off. But yeah, every cup will come with a cup care card, so you know how to take care of it.
Okay.
And it comes with a metal straw and a straw brush as well.
Okay. Okay. I think she wants this one.
Okay, would you like a cash or card?
Card, please. Okay. Those are kind of cute. Now I'm gonna put them on sweater again.
So that would be 50. It's ready for you when you like it.
I like this one, but I'm not sure whether it would be better to get a plain one or a glam one.
Would you like a receipt?
What do you think?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you. Okay, so basically all my interactions were like that. Everybody there was super nice. Actually, let's rewind. So the reason why I did not film any of the setup or an intro or anything was because it was my very first market, and I had woke up late, and then I had to stop by the bank to get cash, and then by the time I got there, so load-in was at 9, I got there like around 9:15. There was already like nowhere to park because the area in Parkville, it's next to a farmer's market that was also going on. a walking trail, a park, and basically like their old Parkville downtown area. So a whole bunch of little shops and restaurants. And so when I was able to finally like wheel all of my stuff over and set up, people were already walking around. I mean, that part was fine because nobody really got in the way or were like wanting to see stuff already. They weren't intruding or anything, but I felt pressured because I was like, oh my gosh, I got here like 20 minutes late. And then also that day it was so windy that when I was setting up my tent, it kept getting blown over. But everybody in that community is so nice. Customers that were walking by like stopped to hold like one leg of the tent for me. And as I was setting up like my actual display stuff, the wind kept knocking over my scrunchie display, and it actually like broke pieces of the wood off, and like all my scrunchies would go everywhere. But one vendor, I should have gotten her name, I'll have to look it up later and put it in the video, but she like ran from her booth to mine to help me pick up everything. I'm so grateful for her because I was like, oh my god, my scrunchies went everywhere, my display is broken. And she even helped me move my table and everything. So yeah, setup was bad because it was really hot, it was really windy. Overall, it's a good location because there were so many people there because of all the other things that are there. But a lot of people didn't even know that there was going to be a fall festival there that had vendors. So a lot of people there that are normally there on Saturdays for the farmers market, they didn't bring enough cash, and so they like didn't even come check it out, even though a lot of us take card. And then a lot of people that did come, once again, didn't know that we were there, and so they didn't come with the expectation to buy anything, so they didn't buy anything. So that kind of sucked. There was one other vendor there that was selling like cups and tumblers, but that stuff doesn't really bother me because I feel like since I design my cups, nobody can replicate it. So even if other people are selling cups and tumblers, it's totally different than what I'm selling. You know, it's kind of like if you have two t-shirt vendors, like if one is like a sporting good vendor, but then one is like a Halloween seasonal vendor, like even though they're both selling t-shirts, it's different genres, so like it's okay. So the other vendor was selling like sports and Disney stuff, and they actually they put her like further down the block than me. But even if they didn't, I wouldn't have felt any kind of way because again, it's not the same genre. Like if it was like flowers and stuff, I might have, but then again, I don't really know if I would, honestly, because I design my own. I feel like that's what makes it unique, and basically we won't be selling the same stuff. Next thing up, it was the demographic. I want to talk about the demographic that was there. It was a lot of families, people with their children, people with their dogs. It was a lot of families. I kind of like that though because I feel like I attracted a lot of the kids because of my scrunchies and stuff. One boy came over and he grabbed one of my extra large scrunchies and was like, "Whoa, you could put this on your neck," and he tried to like put it over his head. Which, you know, whenever I know a lot of vendors and stuff don't like it when kids are there and they mess everything up and whatever, but I'm telling you, like the place that I'm from, people aren't like that. They generally, I should say, because some people are generally, they put it right back or they bring it to me, and because they can't put it back because they can't reach or whatever. So even though there were a lot of family there, a lot of kids there touching everything, I never felt like anything was disorganized or that I felt like anything would break. There were some slow points in the day, which was fine because since it was so busy, literally from when I got there, I didn't eat breakfast, I didn't eat lunch. I think the first time I was able to take a bite of food was like at 2 o'clock, and even then I didn't even finish it. But that's okay too because I wasn't hungry. I think just from like the rush of doing like my first market. But during the day, I would have to stand up to grab onto my tent because I feel like even though I had 40 pounds of weight on each leg, that my tent would still take off because it was shaking so much. And other vendors, they felt it too because I saw a lot of people like stand up and grab like a leg or just sit next to the leg and hold on to it. Yeah, it was slow in some parts, but that was okay. It was super windy. The wind was terrible for everybody. It actually took my booth neighbor's tent away. Like it dragged it flew off. The vendor behind me actually ran to go get it back for her, which was really nice of him. And also, you know how they say like, oh, make friends with your vendor neighbors or be friendly with them and stuff. I totally agree with that, because the lady who was selling cookies in the booth next to me, who got her tent stolen by the wind, she brought like her daughters with her, and they were so helpful. Whenever my jewelry would get blown away from the wind, they would run over and like race and pick it up and help me put it back. And it was just, I felt like her kids kept me company, to be honest, because I was there by myself. And it was super nice. I gave them a scrunchie for helping me at the end. But yeah, but then the vendor next to me on my other side, I feel like vending's not really her thing, because even when people would come into her booth, she never greeted them, like, at all. I thought that was weird. I don't know. I thought that was really weird. She didn't seem very friendly or very nice, but you know, it's whatever. I didn't try talking to her, but I thought it was weird how she didn't greet anybody. Let's talk money. Everything everybody wants to know about money. So my booth cost $150, which after shopping around for other events, this is actually more on the expensive side, but I did make back my booth money and then some. So I didn't lose out on anything. And the way that I've calculated is that I take the total amount of money that I made that day and I minus the booth fee, and then I will divide that by how many hours I worked. So the 11 to 5 or whatever amount of time I was there, and then however many hours it took me to set up. It was pretty good. You know, I thought filming outside was going to be a good idea, but I forgot I live close to the airport, and there are airplanes and helicopters, and I don't know if you guys heard of with geese. I feel like I did pretty good on my first market. Pros and cons. Let's start with the cons first, because personally I always like bad news first, because then the good news kind of lifts me up. So bad news. It was super hot, and because it was so windy, I had to take down the walls in my tent. I only left up the back because I felt like my tent was going to take off like a kite because it was so windy. So I took down my walls. It was so windy, it was so hot. I feel like it wasn't advertised well. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look into the advertising, and the host of this fall festival is pretty popular in the area that I'm from. Yeah, and I only say that because there were so many people walking around that were talking to me, like asking me what time it closed, telling me they didn't know that this was happening, and just a lot of people who didn't come wanting to buy anything because they didn't know we were there, so they didn't buy anything, which again is totally cool, because at least I got my name out there, my face out there, my products out there. But I am gonna throw that into a con. So the pros. The pros is it's very close to where I live. It was only like a 10-minute drive. Because of the area was such a good location, I did make a profit, a pretty good profit, I think I would say. Now, it's not extravagant, alright guys, so don't get it twisted. It wasn't like $1,000 or anything like that, not even like close, okay? But if I broke it down to per hour, definitely worth it. The vendors there are generally nice. And I say generally nice because there were people there that helped me, but there were also vendors there that were just talking kind of nasty about another vendor, and I just don't know why. And it wasn't even related to the businesses or how we were doing that day. They were like attacking him, and I didn't like that. Like I just don't understand people who act like that, and it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for them and their business. I don't think I would ever buy anything from them because that just wasn't cool, you know? Like, we're all adults, grow up. Yeah, so final thoughts and takeaways. Takeaways are basically, I feel like it was good. The location was good. It was kind of expensive, but would I do it again? Yeah, yes I would. I would totally do it again. And yeah, honestly, it was a very good learning experience for me. And I'm glad that I was able to have my first market close to home, because my sister and her husband actually came to help me. Well, actually, I surprised everybody because I didn't tell any of my family or friends that I'm doing this, but I knew she would find out because I knew that she was going to this. And actually, her husband saw me first, and he goes, and he like calls out my name, and I'm like, oh hi. He goes, are you working? And I'm like, yeah. And I was telling them about the wind and how stressed I was, and they helped me like take down my my walls, help me put everything back. They even like left and came back at the end of the day to help me pack up. My family's just so nice like that, you know. They're so supportive like that. And so I'm glad that my first one was close to home, because they did come and help me. Or my sister and my brother-in-law came to help me. So I did change a lot of the stuff that I did for the second market that I did. That vlog's gonna come up in a few weeks, because I took like my whole inventory with me to Parkville, thinking, oh, like I'm gonna sell out. You know how everybody is. They're like, oh, I'm gonna sell out, everybody's gonna like my stuff and buy it, and everybody did come by and say, oh, how cute it was. But I think the price was a turn off, and so I had to lug everything back home. So for my second one, and I'll talk about it in that vlog, but my second one I did things different. To close out this vlog, or I guess this more like review, because it didn't turn out to be a vlog because the audio sucked. It was a good time. I learned a lot. Would I do it again? Yes. If they accept me in the future, I would love to do it again, but I would just do it differently. I'm really sorry that I couldn't play footage from the actual festival because I was talking to the camera and like recording during the day too, and I really wanted to be kind of like an experience for you guys as well to see. But yeah, this video and the next one, so the Parkville video, which is this one, and then the Union Cemetery one, which is the next one, they're going to be like this, where it's going to be like my voice over video playing, because the audio was just so bad. Those are my closing thoughts. Hopefully my third one that I'm doing this Saturday, it's a lot better. Thanks again everybody for clicking on this video. Please like, please subscribe, and you guys can't see me but I'm waving. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.